Okay, class, let's look at our question. How does the author develop the idea of anxiety in pages 211 to 215? Before we get into our ideas for answers and how we're going to reference the book and answering this question, first, what should be our strategy in our answer statements, or in the answer in total? ADE. How many details? 2. So we know that this is a how question, which means that we should have a very specific way of answering. That is to restate the question, the pertinent parts of the question, and then give the words by or through and our answer statement. So how does the author develop? We'll underline develop as our verb, and the idea of anxiety. And pages 211 through 215. So first we need to answer. And the way that we're going to answer is by saying the author develops the idea of anxiety by. We could use by, we could use through, but we want to illustrate with these words that this is a process that the author, in this case R.J. Palacio, uses to establish the idea of anxiety. So let's take some ideas. How does the author do this? And where we're going to land is the author develops the idea of anxiety by describing August's opinions about hearing aids. Say by detailing August's experience with hearing aids. Okay. Where are we going to find our details? In the text as always. So, as we just read and annotated, we have plenty of evidence to use as our details. So, looking back at the text, it came right at the beginning of page 211 where we started. Ever since I was little, the doctors told my parents that someday I'd need hearing aids. I don't know why. This always freaked me out a bit. That's our evidence, our first piece of evidence that reveals August's anxiety, which is the idea of anxiety in the text. So, and returning to our answer, the author develops the idea of anxiety by detailing August's experience with hearing aids. This is shown, or we see this, or this is revealed. Let's go with that. This is revealed when August explains. And back to the text. This always freaked me out a bit. Okay, we have our detail. What's next? We need an explanation. So this is revealed when, anybody catch my mistake? I didn't finish my quote. So we always need to remember to close our quote that tells the reader that we're switching from the text back to our own voice in the answer statement. So this is revealed when August explains. This always freaks me out a bit. There we see. There, August admits his anxiety. Okay. We have A, we have D, we have E. We need to look for another detail. So let's scan back to our annotations and find where did we write the word anxiety. And we have an example on 213 where he says, no, I won't. He's being defiant. He's saying, I will not wear hearing aids. This is upon the doctor's suggestion that maybe we just give them a try. August responds, no, I won't. However, I think a stronger piece of evidence would be to go to 215 at the bottom of the page, where August, in reflecting on the experience, says, I was so stressed about it all this time. And in that, he's painting context of how he's shown maturity. And we're going to get to maturity in just a moment. But his saying that he was stressed is admittance of the anxiety we're looking for. So there August admits his anxiety. Now, this idea is repeated on page 115. Where August states, I was so stressed. Quote, I was so stressed. And notice, I didn't include the entire sentence, the entire quote, and we don't need to do that. We are only looking for evidence that supports our claim. The rest of that sentence was contextual and necessary for the point that was being made in that paragraph, but we don't need that. All we need to know is that August was stressed, because that reveals his anxiety. And so now, with our last piece of explanation, we want to do a little bit of summary as well with this. So we could say, therefore, August reveals. Did I use reveals yet? We like to use the word reveals or illustrates, or that shows that something is being developed. However, whenever we can avoid repeating ourselves by using different language that's synonymous, that's always a good move. And we did. We said this is revealed when, so we want to use a synonym and say we could say, therefore August illustrates. Yeah, his anxiety by describing his experience with hearing aids. A, D, E. We're now going to turn to the following page, and you will be on your own doing the same for the following statement, which is, how does the author develop the idea of maturity in pages 111 through 115? Mr. Vreese and I will be walking around. You may begin.